Okay, so we are going to do the tier list of tier 1 basic units. So the general idea is like, when are they good? Like, as always, mostly, sometimes, occasionally, never. So it's like also not so easy. So first of all, like, we have like 7, so 6 of each plus the basic, the neutral run. So I have here the wiki with information about the units, and we can start actually with the pixie because it's the one with no stats. So here's a mistake. I think pixie is clearly tier 1 because it just have she has 6 health, 2 attack, 2 defense, 2 of 2 damage, which is so average, I would say. What she has very strong is like her speed and her initiative. For 100, she's also rather expensive. We don't know how many you can actually recruit, so it's a little bit hard to say. And yeah, so she can fly, which is definitely a plus. So magic creature, so she can have morale and so on. Melee attack and immune to all magic, which is like a bonus. So if I like check all her stats, like health is like not good. It's like 6, so it's I think of the weakest. Attack 2, defense 2 is also pretty weak. Damage 2 of 2 is like, as I said, average. Speed 8 and initiative 8 is like really really strong for like a unit. So I'm thinking to put her something like CB tier. Like, I mean, what is she doing? She like, if she targeted by range units, she's gonna die basically. And this is the only thing because her high speed and initiative against range units. So I think I will put her on C because also of her immunity to magic. So like, you can put here like, like, you can make dragons and phoenixes and her and just destroy everyone with Armageddon. So I think I put her into C tier. Okay, next on the list we can take, I think, actually skeleton. So here it's a bit differently made. So skeleton has the same attack. He has overall combined attack and defense 1 more. Damage range is 1 to 3, so it's similar. So depending how you want to see it, like if you combine this with spells and something like this, it's like, if you have Nightshade and minimum damage, it's terrible if you can bless them. But I think you can't bless them, so to do maximum damage would be better. Speed initiative kinda weak. 0 morale, can be plus, can be minus, depending. So it's neutral and luck. So I think actually like skeleton itself, is like really, it's also C tier. But the thing is, what you have with skeleton is like, you have here growth. Yeah, you have 30. So you have already 180 values of hit points, yeah, per week as a base. Plus you can increase this by the law points and something like this. Then you can also have a recruitment skill, which will increase the skeleton health by 2. So then suddenly, instead of like 180, you will have like 240 worth of health power, which already strengthened it, right? And then depending on the artifacts, like we have like in our game now this one, yeah, like upgraded plus 2. So this is another 2, and then you have, I think, another artifact which gives um more. Wait. Sets. So which one was it? Here, Ring of Life. Where's the ring? So you can have 2 and another 2, so another 4. So like if you consider this upgrading and something like this, so this is like a bit more than occasionally, yeah. So like sometimes, but then again, like when will you have like the normal skeletons? So like if you just consider this without artifacts, so then like this is like this. So with artifacts, like you can even go like higher. So because of growth and the necromancy itself, so I put them still into C tier because like I try. It's very difficult to rate this actually, like if you how you rate them just by itself or with combination possibilities. So let's put them also into C tier because they are also not that strong. Okay, so next ones. Who do we take? Let's take the Trogs. So the Trogs also have a weekly growth of 28. They have a little bit more health, more defense and attack, so overall combined 5. So in comparison to the Pixies and so, Skeletons is like the same. Damage range is like this. Speed and initiative is basically the same. But what they have is the fighting style where you can attack like 50% and don't get counter attack. So this is definitely better. But so if we compare this like to the skeleton and to the pixie, so like the trog can be like this if we just consider this isolated, yeah. Like with everything combined and something like this, the skeleton should be definitely better. But so like what is the usefulness? Yeah, so like for grinding and something like this. So I mean, one of the advantages also, let's say, of Necropolis is that you can upgrade the skeleton without dust. So you can make day one directly the skeleton shooters, and then suddenly like this one goes even here. If this is, let's say, your tactic. So yeah. So I would say the Trogs are like a bit better just because of health. Yeah, they have 2 more health, which is like a lot in this case, and like the growth is almost the same, just then with the necromancy. Okay, then we have next on the list. Let's do the swordsman. So the swordsman, growth 18, which is not so much, but we have times 12. Yeah, so we have 136, 216 health in comparison to the skeletons which were like at 180, right? So it's like more, and I think the trogs were 240 minus 16, so 224. So basically, like the trogs, they have higher attack, so they have 8 in combination. They have more damage, like the base damage is 1 higher, which is fine, and they have combined like 9 speed and initiative, which is also like way better. Plus, in fact, like they have minus 30% range damage, and this is really nice. Like if you want to go and kill some shooters or something like this, so you can split up your army and just use these guys and take less damage. So I think like for a base unit, they're actually really nice. So I'm going to put them into that, and I will change this because actually this doesn't make so much sense. So it's better. Okay, so we have the swords guys, this guys. So okay. Oh crap. Yeah, this one. Okay, so now we have our Rashofs, small rift dwellers. Aha. So let's go first through the stats and then through the abilities. So we have a growth of 20, so health 10, so they have also like 200, which is like in comparison a little bit lower, right, than the frogs and the swordsman, but you have 10 health. So it's also like in the early game, especially, it's a bit, you can save them better. Yeah, if you have like a bigger stack and then like you don't lose their one, you don't lose their one, which is pretty nice. But if you are splitting the stacks into ones and then you lose, so it's a bit more expensive to lose one of those. Mm, okay, attack and defense is like 6 combined. Damage range the same like with pixies, just differently written. Speed initiative is like 8. So it's like pretty average, I would say, in comparison to the others. Once per battle, summons a stack of Rashos on friendly corpses hex. Has 50% of the corpse's original stack and no more units than the Rashos amount. These creatures are permanent and remain after battle. Ability tier 3. And this one is actually really good. So if you're able to summon this and to combine this, you can even like build like a bigger stack, so like a touch like necromancy, but it's really difficult, yeah, because it's like ability cost is 2. So this is especially in the early game not so easy to manage. Plus you need to have a stack died and then with the health points, so it's also something like you have to consider, right? So you kill one. So for example, if you have like one Rashovs and you try to summon, it doesn't work because there is not enough hit points for him to be revived. So yeah, there's like definitely some potential, but it's also like in comparison to the others, like the Trog ability you can use more often. Yeah, so I put them also into B tier. And then it's the question like which one you would prefer. Like fairly similar. This one has a little bit better ability. Like this one you lose like a little bit less. Mm, I think they're pretty equal actually. Okay, so next one. Let's try this ones. Because this ones I don't know so much. Okay, health is 7, so a little bit more than the skeletons. They have 3 attack and 3 defense, which is 6 combined, and the skeletons had 5. We don't know them, actually, them speed. The speed we should actually have here. Speed is 2. No, speed must be more. Speed is 3, so I actually made this with the stats, the screenshot, to also see this a little bit better. So speed is 3. No, here it's written. So what is that? Maybe the movement points. Okay, speed 3, initiative 4, which is like rather average. But they have the long reach attack, yeah, so which is a big plus because it's like no counter attack in this way. And they synergize, right, very well with the hive, yeah. So if you have like different hive units, you get like different bonuses and so on. So Yeah, so in great numbers, a devastating swarm. So there's the question, like, what type of growth you have. So I assume it will be something, yeah, 25, 30-ish. So like the trogs and the skeletons as like orientation. What they have better though is, or like what they have nice is the base damage. Like 2 till 3 is like really nice. So like it makes a huge difference if you have one base damage or two. So like the damage given. Oh, okay. And like you have this one, so tier. This is actually also really nice to for grinding, yeah, because if you have level 4 creatures, then this one is doing 12 more damage, 12% more damage to them. So that's actually really nice ability. I didn't know this. So no counter attack and the stats are like a little bit poor though. But from feeling here, so no counter attack. It's like this. It has a bit higher base damage. Has also a higher attack, and these stats are the same. But you don't get a counter attack. So if you have it here, like you have half of the damage for no counter attack. So basically similar like this, just half the damage. So in comparison, this one is definitely better. If it's as good as this one, it's like this 12, no counter attack. So I actually would think if they fight one-on-one stacks, this one has higher initiative. This one always strikes first because they have the same speed. So this one can attack from 4. So I think, yeah, A is definitely reasonable in this one. Yeah, I'm very happy with this actually. Okay, and now we come to the last one. Fawn Warrior. The fawns of the Murmur Woods remain a mystery to most outsiders. Okay, so let's see why. They have 12 health, which is like for a tier 1 unit and a shooter is like crazy, in my opinion. They have attack and defense very high. Super high damage, like 3 till 4 is insane. They are ranged. The speed is low, but when you are like ranged, it almost doesn't matter only when you are, let's say, in one of these creature bars, I think they are called. Then it might matter, but in general, not. Initiative 5 is still decent in comparison to the other guys, right? It's 4, 4. Okay, this one has 6, 4, and 4. So it's also above average. It's living range attack. Yeah, with 3 plus hexes minus 10% and then up to 50. And this one is huge too. Counter attacks before the enemy's attack lands. That's actually like really annoying. So when I was grinding and playing against them, I felt like they have to be nerfed because they are too strong. So they are like easily S tier. I think this is like the clearest from all of them. I think none of them is really D tier that you can't use them. Maybe the pixies even like this. I mean, they have high speed and high initiative, so I'm sure you find there's some use. Like you split them up into one stacks and then you just fly them forward and block them archers that they can't shoot, and then with your slower units you advance. This is the use case I see for them. Skeletons itself not good, but if you mass them, like they're gonna get nuts. These ones, like the rush offs, they are actually like kind of solid. And the trogs, they are maybe not so strong, but with them attack is nice. Like they have constant attack, so 100% basically what the trogs are doing, Plus they have like one more basic damage and more attack. So which makes them definitely better than the Trogs. Swordsmen are really solid. Like as a base unit, very tanky. Plus no 30% less range damage, yeah, definitely nice. And of course, this one's they scream nerf even when you play them against them the first time. Okay, so this is like the tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And we gonna go on.